Hey guys, Rims and Rides here. I'm out on a walk through North London, Highgate area, and just thought I'd come and see what we can see. So see what interesting cars we got to have a look around today. So yeah, like, comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. Hey guys, so spotted this as part of my Highgate walkthrough. Quite a special car this, the Honda S2000. Originally it was released as a concept car in the mid-1990s, then Honda decided to put it into production as part of their 50th birthday celebrations later in the 1990s. First kind of unveiled in 1998 and the first production cars in 1999. Yeah, really it's kind of did something different in the sports car segment, and Honda have got a long history of being quite innovative, and this car really did kind of epitomise that. They chose this as their 50th birthday celebration because the first ever car they produced was the Honda S360, a little sports car, and that had a believe it or not, a motorcycle engine which had a chain drive to the rear axle. So the S2000 was the kind of the homage 50 years later to that car, but obviously quite different because the market moved on substantially. One thing it kind of did share with the whole motorcycle thing was its ability to rev really, really highly. So this had a special engine, the F20 engine. It's 2-litre petrol, so it doesn't sound that exciting. But actually it had a special form of the Honda's VTEC system, variable valve timing. And it produced an awful lot of power higher up the rev range. So it had a 240 horsepower throughout its whole life cycle. Actually, they never changed the horsepower. It lived for about 9 years. But yeah, so 240 horsepower, but the car was quite light, and that power really came in really high up the rev range. So combined with kind of the high power and the lightweight, about 1,200 odd kilos, it really did perform really well. We're talking kind of 6 seconds-ish, 0 to 60 in about 150 miles an hour. But it was a way that performance was delivered was really, really special and really exciting. And the cut-off rev limit was about 9,100 RPM, where most cars are kind of running out of steam at about 7,000 revs. There was a kind of discernible kickover in the power, so that it would go on to the high-level VTEC cam around the 6k mark, and then it would really go screaming to red line. So very exciting to drive. That meant that the car was quite kind of peaking its power delivery though, so it could be quite skittish. So think about the VTEC coming on board when you're going around a corner, that could unsettle the back of the car. It was a rear-wheel drive and had a real kind of race car chassis setup. So actually a lot of these have been crashed and seen the back sides of hedges and stuff. So it's been quite a tricky car to drive well and drive at the limit especially. So yeah, lots of drifting videos, but I'm sure there's lots of crashes involved in those drifting videos with these as well. And talking crashes, this is a central London car that's like quite hard life. Specifically, it's what's called it was a facelift model. I mean, in the US, it was called the kind of AP2, which had a 2.2 litre engine instead of the 2 litre. In the US, they wanted the 2.2 because it had more torque, made the car more usable. Americans like kind of easygoing power delivery. The Europeans and Japanese are a bit more tolerant of the revvy nature of this engine. So yeah, but this was actually known as a facelift car. It wasn't the AP2, contrary to popular belief in some quarters. But yeah, this was the facelift car. Really good facelift, actually quite comprehensive. Compared to the original car, it had different bumpers, different lights, LED tail lights. Also 17-inch wheels. The initial run of cars had 5-spoke 16-inch wheels, which are quite relatively tame. So this car has got the correct wheels for the year. Yeah, really nice diamond turn finish. They've had quite a battering. So central London wheels, you can see they've got quite a lot of curbing there. And then because they were diamond turned on the face, they had quite a lot of corrosion, which could come in. That's quite difficult to refurbish. Actually, you can only refurbish those kind of wheels so often. And also centre caps here, they're metal centre caps, so get corroded as well. It's quite a big job to get these refurbished properly, and you can only refurbish them so many times because they need a special process called diamond turning, and then they lacquer over the top, and eventually they go again. So you can never really get diamond turned wheels to last forever. But yeah, they're really, really attractive wheels. They made 3 different types, 17-inch wheel for the S2000, depending on the year. And every other year the facelift existed, so it existed for about 6 years. They did a new wheel design. The last ones had a painted 5-spoke wheel. The earlier ones had these diamond turn wheels, 2 different designs. So yeah, this car's had a very hard life. It's got a lot of dents everywhere, and actually it's had a bit of a prang at the back. You can see the rear wheel's not quite sitting right. It's a bit bent out. Maybe it's caught a curb or something. So it might have bent the rear wishbone. Actually, these cars are quite fragile. So they've got what's called an X-bone chassis. And that is quite susceptible, quite easy to damage if you're getting a relatively minor shunt with it. So a lot of these got written off, which basically means not many of these are left. Now, the UK was actually one of the biggest markets, the S2000 globally. We sold actually quite a lot of those cars here. So there's quite a few, but the numbers have dwindled quite a bit. And also they're starting to rust now as well. The rust proofing wasn't great, and they are known for, well, it's Japanese cars in general really, but these kind of notorious for it. Around the rear wheel arches, they start to rust, but this one looks okay. It's not too bad, but under here they go, and also around the rear bumper mountings, they can go as well. This car's got quite a few marks, lots of different panels, but you know, it's a London car. Also here, the headlights, these are HID, always have been, but quite attractive design with the facelift. They're starting to go a bit milky now. You can bring those back with special kits or get them freshly polished, and then maybe some lacquer over the top to help protect it for longer. This car's also got the it's got body kit on, but actually it's a genuine Honda body kit. So it's the front diffuser there. It's got a nice crack in it there because it's caught a curb. And then around the back, it's got this ducktail spoiler. Now, whenever you're fitting a rear spoiler or a front spoiler like this on this car, they should be matched, because you upset the aerodynamic balance in cars at high speed. If you only fit a front spoiler, you mean the front digs into the ground more and makes the rear lighter. So if you don't have a spoiler on the back, it can actually unsettle the car. So it's quite important to get that right when you're fitting aftermarket kits, if you do want to get the car to perform properly at really high speeds and keep it stable. The roof on this car normally suffers, but this car must have had a new one because it's looking pretty good. Or it's just very low mileage, spent most of its time in a garage. But yeah, it's got quite a few little bangs and clangs on it. The rear tail lights are steaming up a bit, so maybe all there. So yeah, scuff there. But you know, they can take it. They're pretty tough. They always start. They'd be very, very, very reliable. So there's lots of customer satisfaction surveys with these cars. So What Car, etc., did a lot of reliability testing. And actually, when surveyed, people were saying the S2000 of all the cars available on sale of the owners said it was the most reliable, not the most reliable sports car, the most reliable car full stop. So really, really good engineering from Honda there. Even with that high revving nature, that 9000 race car RPM type driving characteristics, it's still super reliable and durable. Yeah, fantastic drive. This car's in a colour called Moonrock, a really nice grey with a kind of pearlescent kind of flip over the top to look like Moonrock, surprisingly. And that's on the interior, matched to a really nice red leather interior. You could also get kind of black and different combinations, and they went through a stage of offering things like a tan interior, lots of different types of quite cool colours. You could spec the car to look like more of a GT classy car or more of a racer. But yeah, an amazing machine. It's not very big inside. It's got pretty cramped if you're someone my height, but yeah, the solution to the lack of headroom is getting the roof down. Whenever I have mine, the roof was always down. The roof goes up and down electrically in about 6.5 seconds and stows really easily. And quite a usable car all year round. The later ones from 2005 model year onwards had, not model year, the 2005 year, you could get stability control. And the year after that, because they moved to an electronic throttle control, which stability control means it's less than likely to spin off and crash, which is good. And also, for my liking, and I'm going to hang my hat on this, the world's best gearbox, 6-speed manual, which has fantastic shift, beautifully weighted, really, really precise, and a lovely, lovely gearbox to use. So yeah, this is actually kind of optimum. This car's around kind of 2006, 2005. And a really optimum year. So this one's got the cable operated throttle, and yeah, not some of the problems that happen to the later ones engine wise. So a really nice year, a nice combination. This car needs quite a lot of love. I mean, it's clearly been serviced, the brakes are all looking quite new and the tyres are looking quite new, but it needs a lot of bodywork to get looking great again. In terms of buying them, I mean, they're pretty straightforward. You want a car with regular oil changes, the usual kind of used car buying rules apply. And look out for rust and crash damage is the most important thing, so get a really good inspection. You used to be able to get S2000s around the kind of £3,500 mark they got down to at one point. Now they've shot straight back up again, so you can't get a kind of one of these, a facelift car for much less, for about £16,000. And the final edition versions, the GP White edition versions, they they're kind of 30 grand upwards. But a real appreciating classic, really easy to own, just servicing just like most normal cars. So nothing complicated, no turbochargers or anything like that. It's just just there to be enjoyed, and you can really travel long distances in quite a refined way as long as you fit all right in the car. So fantastic car. I recommend them highly, and hope you like them too.